Hello, Year 8. Hope you're all well. So it's Tuesday today, Tuesday the 12th of May, and I've spent all the day so far looking through all the work that you've sent in. I've been arranging it into kind of a PowerPoint and writing about it and thinking about it and leaving you comments on section 1. And what I'm about to do now is go through your work, the best work, talking about why it's good and how it could be even better, and kind of shining a light on those people that have made a lot of effort for their artwork. I'm also going to talk about, or I'm going to show Ms Stewart's group's work and Ms Barrett's group's work as well, and I'm going to read their comments that they have written for you as well. I'll be doing this in a little bit more detail than I will be doing during the lesson. So if you want to hear a little bit more about the work, watch this. Also, obviously, I'll be talking about what we're doing this week at the end of it. So let me start by sharing my my PowerPoint presentation. So I'm going to start with my groups 8A, 8D, and 8E, but they're not necessarily in any particular order or grouped together because I have arranged them in a special order so that I can talk about special things. I wish I could skip along, but I can't. There we go. Right. So the first person that I want to talk about is Peter. Peter in 8A. His work, as you can see, is absolutely beautiful. His drawings are so intricate and careful and very precise. So they have a good level of detail and tone. The only thing that's let Peter down here is his photographs, which aren't too bad, but they've just got some shadows across them. It's always really difficult to photograph your work when you're not a professional photographer and you don't have perfect lighting. But my tip is to look for cool light as opposed to warm light that you get in the evenings from lamps and stuff. So photograph them in the middle of the day if you can. Find somewhere where there's not a strong directional light, where the light is diffused and kind of bouncing around in lots of different directions, and that will stop big shadows on your work. And sometimes it's just a case of moving it around and photographing it from different angles. But anyway, I think you can agree these are pretty amazing drawings from Peter. He always delivers when it comes to the drawing tasks. Well done, Peter. Moving on, Kate in 8D. Again, very precise and careful drawings, very calming. And she's obviously really focused her attention on these drawings for a long period of time. The shapes are good, the tone's believable, they really work as 3D objects. What Kate did here is I can see is she's folded the piece of paper in order to create a perfectly square grid, which is very clever. But as she's unfolded the paper, it's left a kind of a crease, and that's created a shadow, which is quite cool, I think. And it's like an extra sort of presentational flourish, which I'm sure she didn't intend, but it looks great anyway. And there's a few happy accidents in the work this week. Okay, this is from Primrose, a late submission, but a good one. As I say down in the comments here, I'm not normally a fan of smudging. I think that sometimes it can look really messy, but in this case, Primrose seems to have controlled it really well. And it does give the objects a certain kind of humanity, like they're believable, they're not perfectly smooth and consistent. They're a little bit smudgy, a little bit irregular, and I think it works. It's really good. Excellent work from Primrose. That's not Primrose. I think this is Luli, but I might have accidentally put Primrose's name twice. I'm really sorry. So this is Luli Bunclark, I think, and she's done a fantastic job here of focusing on line. As you can see, her lines are very consistent. They're very clean and precise, and they're very neat and tidy, and everything is very much straight on, no weird angles, and that gives it everything a consistent feel. I think if Luli had more time, she would have wanted to add a bit more tone to this, but she didn't, so that's fine. Good work, well done. Nicely photographed as well, very clean. Okay, a couple of drawings from some boys now. Alexander Mishev and Tate Choksky. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong, boys, but they have drawings that I really enjoy, but are different to the ones that I've been showing you. And the point I want to make here is that, yes, you can be really sort of, you can focus on achieving realistic shapes and using your pencil in a very controlled way, or you can sort of enjoy the medium and lean into it a little bit and, you know, sort of stylize your drawings a little bit. And that's sort of what these guys have done here. Okay, especially I'm a really big fan of Tate's drawings here, because they've got a sort of the lines have got a sort of confidence to them, which, you know, is very particular to the act of drawing. You know, sometimes I think that people need to enjoy the fact they're doing a drawing rather than trying to make a photograph from a pencil. You know, enjoy the way that the pencil looks and the way that marks from the pencil look on the page, and use those to your advantage. I think the best artists are not ones that do either of these techniques, but the ones that do both and can use them when it's fit, when it's most appropriate. Let's skip to the next page. Louis, again, another late submission, so I just threw this in a second ago, but again, a bit more confident. And you can see here, because he's pressed a little bit harder with his pencil and made some more pencil-y lines, these drawings have a bit more impact. Not sure what that thing on the bottom right is though, but I'm interested to know, so if you can fill me in. I think it might be noodles, but I don't want to get that wrong. I might embarrass myself. Okay, so here we have two sets of drawings from Tizia and Daniel, and I put these together because I feel like they represent a more careful, almost cautious kind of approach to drawing, which I also really enjoy. I think it's okay to enjoy lots of different types of drawing and to appreciate lots of different types of drawing and to try your hand at lots of different types of drawing. And I think that these guys represent that very careful, cautious, fragile almost approach very well. And I'm a big fan, especially of Tizia's hard tone there, and just the sort of the good shapes that she's achieved. I like Daniel. I think he's used a bit of ruler here, which I also really enjoy that when people use a ruler in their drawings. Excuse me, hiccups. Okay, so here are a couple more drawings that are not like conventional sort of drawings in the photorealist vein, but they're still really enjoyable and fun. Especially Johnny's on the left there, and Johnny's got quite an aggressive mark, to be honest with you, quite aggressive, quite hard, quite thick, quite dark. I think that gives his drawings an energy and an appeal, which you wouldn't get from a photorealistic drawing. So again, equally valid an approach. Well done, Johnny. Well done, Hanan. Hanan's shapes I enjoyed. They've got this kind of swaying, drifting sort of quality to them, which I enjoy. Okay, so this is a real left field sort of like submission or sort of curveball from Lucy Chisholm in 8D. She's decided to think of the apps on her phone as objects and how they have become such a huge part of her life since lockdown. So she's done drawings of these, and as you can see, they make a really cool, interesting pattern. I do think that she could have spent a bit more time kind of just making this shading a bit smoother, but I'm being quite fussy there. Excellent idea, Lucy, and well done. Okay, and these are from Dolores. I hope you don't mind, Dolores. I just cooled these down a little bit and added a little bit more color to them. I absolutely love Dolores's experimental approach to this task, and I would love to see some of these drawings kind of close up and really examine them. Yeah, I think that it's a good example of the interesting and fun things that can happen when you take an experimental approach to a task. The photographing of them is quite just disorientating, which is interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing them, you know, just straight as well, just to see what that looks like. But I think this is a good piece of work. Well done, Dolores. Hansi is a digital artist. He really likes working, I think, on iPad. I'm not 100% sure, but he uses, I think, Procreate. And what I really enjoy about these is obviously the color, which kind of hits you in the face straight away, but also the textured brush marks that he's used. So he's used a kind of a textural brush there to add tone to his drawings, and it looks really nice. Look at that little shadow on the wine glass there, very nice. I'm curious about what this object is here. It looks like strawberry spray. So why this has taken on a new significance for Hansi is beyond me, but I'm very curious to find out why if he wants to tell me. Excellent work. Good stuff, Hansi. More colour from Lydia. Again, this is so refreshing, because I've got a lot of pencil drawings this week, so it's really nice to sort of, I opened this one, I was like, lovely, it just lifted my spirits. Thank you, Lydia, well done. These are from Hal, and what's nice about Hal's work here is that he sent along the photographs that he used as well. Another thing that's interesting about these drawings is that they're all quite different. They're kind of finished to different levels. Some of them have tone, some of them don't. Some of them concentrate on pattern, others concentrate on typography. So it's quite interesting to see that variety rather than consistency. Consistency is cool and satisfying to look at, but sometimes variety is fun as well. Oh, these are from Marcello, and we all know Marcello is a very good drawer. He's got advanced skills, but he hasn't lost that sort of pencil-y feel. So for me, Marcello sits in that nice ground in between, you know, photorealism and like really accurate observational drawing, and also kind of things with a little bit of character to them and a little bit of you know, spirit and energy. You can see down here he's done some directional shading, which is super impressive. Not everybody gets that at this age, so well done. And here's some stuff from Zoe. I really loved how she added the colour onto these. They're good drawings even without the colour, but I think it was brave to add the colour on. And I think also it kind of raises some questions about, makes me think about like fingerprints, or, you know, when you see things illuminated under a UV light and you see fingerprints and germs and stuff like that. And that feels appropriate right now. So awesome work from Zoe as well. Okay, Miss Barrett's work. So here are some nice confident drawings. First piece of work I've had from Abdul Rahman, really nice drawing of detail hand wash, bold lines and expressive use of pencil. Nice one, Abdul Rahman. Let's have that continue. Let's have a piece of work from you every week, please. Thank you very much. Botan, great work from Botan, a nice selection of drawings, carefully observed with good use of tone and shadow, particularly striking use of photo layout with layering and transparency. You've applied some of our groceries themed sort of techniques. Well done, Botan, excellent stuff. And I do like these drawings as well, especially those hard black shadows. They look good. Nicholas, a lovely set of delicately drawn. Wow, they are fantastic, Nicholas. Particularly nice one of the plug adapter. Couldn't agree more. A real sense of depth in 3D, and great that books are one of your essential lockdown items. I agree. We should all be reading as much as possible, or watching documentary films, or, you know, something else. That's a valuable use of our time. Rodrigo, along with Botan, one of the only pupils in 8B to use the layout app, so well done. I also had a few people submit work to me that was just the loose, separate drawings. And some of them were good drawings, it's just that we asked you to arrange them into a grid. For most people that did that, I asked them to resubmit the work, and that doesn't mean redoing the drawings, that just means taking them into the layout app, arranging into a grid, and sending that on to me, please. Along with Botan, one of the only pupils in 8B to use the layout app, so well done. Quite faint drawings, could have been bolder with more use of stronger tone and contrast. A little bit of editing of the photographs could have also helped with that, Rodrigo. Glad to see a drawing of a pencil and rubber alongside of the drawings of technology. Very good point, Miss Barrett. It's lovely to see someone acknowledging the importance of the humble pencil, okay? That's all you need in lockdown. Okay, Marat, nicely observed drawings with bold lines and shadows. Marat did his own PowerPoint slide. Would have been even better if he had tried using the layout app and seeing what he could have done with that. Thank you very much, Marat, well done. Following on from your face self-portrait response last week, this is good. Skipping on. Mwalwa, some good drawings with lovely attention to detail. Good pattern on the toilet roll, really emphasizing the cylindrical shape, and great that the text on the kidney bean tin curves around the tin, again emphasizing the cylindrical shape. Good work, Mwalwa. Absolutely, Miss Barra. I am always impressed when students get the patterns and designs on objects to feel as if they're curving around their rounded shape, and Mwalwa has done a lovely job of that here with his toilet roll and with that lettering up there. I'd also like to draw a little bit of attention to that, the transparent soap dispenser down here, and you can see the liquid inside the soap dispenser, which is really impressive. Well done, excellent work. Alts, great work from Alts, simple bold lines, fantastic eggs. They are a tricky shape to draw, wondering what the $ is representing. Yeah. It's always interesting when there's something a bit more ambiguous in a student's work, because it makes you think and ask questions and want to talk to them and have a conversation. So thank you very much, Alt. I love these. Okay, time for Ms Stewart's work, 8C. So Ms Stewart says, Millie, it's quite hard to see the drawings, but some nice delicate line drawings on close inspection, particularly the face mask. Are these the items, phone, laptop, mask, soap, we now can't live without? Like your experiments, adding backgrounds to images. Lovely work, Millie. Jan, we have been waiting a really long time for this. Yes, Jan, I hope this continues. But worth the wait, really well observed with touches of colour added into biro drawings. Great example of building up layers of colour to create contrast. Lovely, and most people did pencil, so nice to see someone having a shot at using biro. Excellent work, Jan. Stanley, really strong, intense use of oil pastel in beans, ketchup and mustard, which makes objects stand out and gives impacts. Unexpected colour pencil anomaly in there too. Would have been interesting to see these edited and with coloured background and repeated. Exactly, just imagine how great these would have looked on a big grid. Decent work, Stanley, and it's good to see you're sending your work to Ms Stewart now. Ruby, nice, fast, sketchy drawing in what looks like biro. Yes, they have a good energy and speed to them, agreed, although could perhaps be more refined. That's possible. Great contrast and marks. Well done, Ruby. Fantastic stuff. Ms Stewart's clearly very happy with you. Amir, very well drawn objects, applying perspective, create sense of depth and 3D space. Lovely delicate marks and tone applied to suggest form. That's to make things look 3D. Excellent, Amir. Really good effort. Your photos are a little low contrast. You can increase those on your phone normally after you've taken them. Marco, well observed and good attention to detail looking at packaging. Delicate images and good sense of depth and contrast between light and dark tones. Exactly. These drawings have good contrast. I agree with that, Ms Stewart. Thank you very much, Marco. Julie, excellent observational drawing with good use of tone to show depth and emphasis on contrast. I love that, Marmite. All objects have weight and appear 3D, agreed. Also produced a few versions in different layouts. Nice, so these are kind of like Ms Stewart's best picks, but it seems like Julie did a bit of extra work there. Well done, Julie. Love them. Okay, right. That is all of the work from last week, and I'm sure you can agree. Year 8, you are very talented draftspeople. You can draw very well, and when I say drawing well, I don't necessarily mean that you can make a drawing that looks exactly like the object. You're making drawings that are interesting, compelling, use a variety of mark making, are just fun or satisfying to look at. So well done. Right, this week's task. Now, I'm only going to zip through this because obviously the lesson is really when we're going to talk about this. Plus, Ms Stewart has made an excellent video talking about how she interpreted this task. But just very quickly, this week, your job is to position yourself next to a window and observe the world outside, as I'm sure many of you have already been doing. You're to use the Brushes Redux app again. You're very familiar with that app to create a digital drawing based on what you see. So really, it's just a digital kind of drawing of a view out of a window. And there's some tips down here about how you can interpret that a little bit differently, how you can make sure that your drawing looks good. And of course, how you submit it and everything like that. Let's look at some examples that Ms Stewart's included. I'm sure she'll talk about these in more detail. Edward Hopper, very famous for allowing us to peer into interior spaces, but also showing exterior spaces as well. He was an American painter. What's really cool about this one is that we see from an exterior space into an interior space and then back out into the exterior space at the back. So we're going from outside, inside, and then outside again. And that's really lovely. This is probably his most famous painting. It's called Nighthawks. And again, we get that through view right through that late night cafe there. And we can also see a little bit into the dark shops and things like that. And these are paintings by a man called Richard Estes. And he's really famous for doing very, very impressive paintings, not photographs, these are paintings, focusing on the quality of reflections through glass in mirrors and in chrome surfaces. So he was painting in America in the 50s and 60s, I think. So have a look at these artists, watch Ms Stewart's excellent video. Okay, I won't show all of it now, but here it is. Okay, she goes through the whole process very well and shows exactly how her drawing builds up. It's very good. And then she shows you the final thing. So that's pretty much everything for this video. Okay, I hope you made it onto the PowerPoint this week. If you didn't, don't worry, you can get on there next week. You just need to give it your best shot and try really hard. If I see someone who's made effort and spent time doing their work, I will reward that by sharing it with everybody and talking about how lovely it is. Okay, other than that, hope you enjoy the lesson, hope you enjoy your week, and hope you're all well. Bye-bye now.